What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan from Adelante's Diverse IT, and today I'm going to try to simplify another solution for you. I wanted to go ahead and look at what it's like to go ahead and join a Zoom meeting from the user's perspective. So that means somebody has sent you an invitation to join a Zoom meeting. You've never installed or set up Zoom on your computer. You're going to get the link in your email, set up Zoom, and then we're going to explore some of the options that are in Zoom. You guys ready? Let's go ahead and get started. So first, what I would like to look at is what it's like if we were going to go ahead and receive the email from somebody else here. So what you'll receive is an email. It should be from somebody that you know or expecting. It's not going to say from me, but it'll be from either the institute or your organization you're working with, your friend, your family member, and it'll have a title, Zoom meeting. Mine is Zoom meeting, Department of Senior Affairs. So you're going to go ahead and open that email. Once it's open, there's a couple things I wanted you to pay attention to or to point out before we go ahead and click on this link. The first one is going to be called the meeting ID. This meeting ID, you may be prompted by the software for the meeting ID and the password, so I kind of just wanted to show you where that is in the email in the event that you are prompted for it. Oftentimes when you have this link, that information will be embedded in it. You can see the actual meeting ID right here, and then the password is hashed out as a key. But if it ever does ask you for it, I want you to know where that information is in the email. So we're going to go ahead and click on the link. You need to have Zoom installed on your computer. If you've never installed it before, you're going to look for another link here that says download now. Once we click the download now, a section is going to open asking where you're going to like to download it to. I'm going to go ahead and save to my downloads folder just so I can go ahead and grab that at a later time. Alright, in your bottom right corner you're going to see what's called an executable. This is going to be the application that we're going to run. You can double click on that or left click, a single click on it, and it's going to go ahead and start to open. This box will install, say installing Zoom. It'll give you a progress bar, no action that you need to take except let it do its thing. Once complete, an application, give it a moment, should go ahead and enter. It's going to ask you to enter your name. This will be the name that you'll be using for this meeting and future meetings. We'll hit join. And then it's going to send a message to the user asking the host, a set message to the host asking them to let you in the meeting. The host will let you into the meeting, and now your screen will start to look a lot bigger and a lot different. It should open up for you, and you're going to go ahead and see you and some other users there on the screen. Right now it's actually just saying the name to the other user, JD Robinson, because that camera hasn't been turned on. Before we turn on the camera and the audio, I want to go ahead and take a look at a couple features briefly. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so when you get into the Zoom platform and you open it, it's going to look a little bit like this. And I want to concentrate on some of the features here at the bottom and a couple things in a couple other areas. But predominantly, I want to first talk about here. You'll see a microphone. If the microphone does not have a red slash through it, that means the microphone is on. As soon as you hit it, notice how the audio went away. So the microphone is going to either mute you or unmute you or provide you with a way to audioly engage with the device. The next one is going to be the camera. As soon as you hit one time with your left click the camera, you'll see the camera is on, and now you are engaged visually with the remainder of the meeting. Both of these can be on or off at your own liking. You can turn the microphone off and the camera off. You can turn the microphone on, camera off, vice versa, or any other combinations of those. The second tab we can look at here is security. We don't really use too many of these features as a first-time user. These are more for a host or advanced settings. We might do a more advanced video on that at another time. The next piece I want to look at is participants. Participants will show you everybody that's in the meeting. It's another word for who all's in the meeting. It's going to show you a list of who's in the meeting. On that list of who's in the meeting, that meeting will have some options. You can either remove that individual, add a profile picture, you can make them a host or a co-host. Really kind of depends on your permissions. Generally from a user's perspective though, the only thing you might do is mute somebody, or if they've made you a co-host, you might want to make that person a host again. But that will be something you could discover under the more options. The next area we're going to take a look at, this is for a host as well. The user generally will not be able to create a poll, but if someone has made you a a host or a co-host, you could create a poll, ask a question, and then solicit responses for everybody else that's in the meeting. It's pretty cool. Another way you can solicit responses from individuals in the meeting is going to be with the chat function. Similar to the participants, you'll hit the chat function. This will open an area to the right. Then you can go ahead and start typing whatever you wish to engage to the rest of the group. You can also do it to everyone, or there's a drop-down menu here where that reflects to a specific individual in your participant list. By default, this setting is for everyone, so be careful if you want to email or chat to somebody just on the list. Make sure you don't have everyone selected. Next, we have the share screen. This is probably the most common feature that we're going to look at. The share screen presents several different options. The first is share the screen. That's just your screen that you're seeing, that you're engaged with right away. That's probably the most common one that a lot of people use. You can use a whiteboard, which is used for educational purposes. A little bit more advanced. We might do another video on that. You could do other pieces such as a folder, a file, or your browser or tab. I have two browsers open, that's why it's giving me the option of Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. But really a lot of flexibility as to what you can go ahead and share with the group. When people are asking you to share, they'd like to see what you're seeing so they can contribute in a collaborative method. We have advanced features where you can do PowerPoints as your background. You may want just a portion of the screen that you wish to share in your video. You may wish to just share music or sound. And if the option is viable from like an iPad or a USB camera, you can actually share content from a second camera. See what that looks like briefly. So there's the second camera feature. Alright, but returning to our original view, I want to take a look. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here. We're going to return to share. They also have the ability for you to share a file from your Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, or different areas. So the share function is incredibly valuable, allowing others to co-contribute on the information that you guys all need to see simultaneously. They have a reactions area. Sometimes this area is enabled or disabled. And this will kind of give you some emojis that you can go ahead and add if you want to contribute in that nature. Or in larger group settings, they may ask you to raise your hand. This is the option where you can raise your hand. And there's also generally going to be a recording setting where you can pause recording, stop recording, etc., etc. The final piece here I want to talk about is when it's time to end or leave the meeting. You're going to push end, as similar to when you end a phone call on a smartphone. And if you want to share this information with somebody else, you can always click on this little shield. So if we go to the shield here in the top left corner, another box is going to open. This box will give you information regarding the meeting. It'll show the meeting ID, who the host is, and the passcode. You can also copy this link if you need to go ahead and share it in the group message, or if you need to email it to another recipient. But that is kind of our introduction to Zoom, some of the features that are associated with the bottom portal or your controls here. Hopefully you'll be more encouraged to start using Zoom as an alternative platform to Google Meet. To each their own for which one that you like. As long as you can start engaging with each other via video, I think it's awesome. Hopefully this is another solution we've simplified for you. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to give us a call. We now have our helpline at 505-503-INFO, which is 505-503-4636. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.